talking about that. So in high school, you see the way teachers tell you, oh, you're not supposed to date in high school, it's a bad thing. Just wait to go to campus, uko ndo mtapata mabwana.
Shocking.
I have suffered.
Yo, what's up everyone? Welcome to yet another episode of Small Talk Cheap Thrills, where we discuss matters of politics, small issues that are affecting youths and the current affairs. Together with me is...
Hello guys, what's up everybody? Hope you all are doing good. Welcome to your favorite host,
AJ.
And I'm just a guest in this video today. Welcome to this show where we talk about... Oh, your favorite host is here.
So, welcome guys to yet another episode of Small Talk Cheap Thrills. We are going to talk about campus life and things that people go through in campus, and especially people who are like expecting to join campus in the next 3 or 4 months to come, what they should look into or what they should look out for while planning to join any campus out there. So, and then I will talk a bit of politics and how campus students viewed politics, and also we'll talk issues to do with abortion and stuff. Yeah. So, how was your first time in campus? What did you, when you decided to select a campus, what did you look for? As in, what was your standard?
Was my motivation?
Yeah, what was your motivation?
Okay, first, while I was choosing the campus I wanted to go to, I made sure that I'm going to a campus that will not hold me back in terms of staying in school for long, when I could go to a campus that I could finish quicker, So that's why I considered going to a private institution rather than going to a public institution. I was avoiding instances where there are a lot of strikes, which would make me stay more at home rather than in school. So that's why I went for a private institution. Again,
for me, I'd say it's totally different from our aspect, because when I joined, whatever I was looking for in a university for me to pick it was something close to what she said, but also to add on to what she was saying, I think the gain end of what I'll get after the 4-year course I'll be taking, or 2-year course or 1-year course I'll be taking in that university also matters. The network that I'm likely to get in a private university and that I will get in a public university are totally different. Yeah, I'm most probably likely to get a huge network, a rich network in terms of job opportunity in a private institution than in a public institution, depending on which public or private university I'll end up in. And the other thing I'll say is in terms of freedom, I think I'll also consider that when I'm picking a university, because I also don't want to go to an institution that will also limit me in terms of how I should express myself, how I should carry myself within or out of campus. So if my freedom is limited, whether within or outside the campus, I think my growth will also be interfered with, right?
Yeah.
So I'd look into that, because I don't want to go to a university that will, ile ufala yenye uko nayo high school yenye uko na vikwazo, you get unaenda kampuni ambiwa you're not supposed to work,
or rather put into consideration whether that institution will allow you a chance to grow and be yourself. Like when kuna institutions zenye zinakulazimisha you be a person that maybe you're not, so you don't discover yourself at the end of the day, because everything you do is limited. Like a lot of limits has been put to you, such that even when you go to the outside world now, you can't interact with people, because some things you are not exposed to, some things you are not given a chance to make your own decisions on these specific things. So to you, like the decisions you make, it's not because you want to make those decisions, but because in one way or another I'm being pushed to make these decisions.
Exactly.
So you should allow yourself a chance to be at an institution where you have the right, you have the ability to decide for yourself, you have the ability to grow as a person.
Yeah.
So that you leave alone the high school mentality, and like where you go to an institution where you still have to, they continue fostering the high school mentality. You can't express yourself. If you express yourself, you find yourself in problems, maybe disciplinary, you know. So you have to do a wide research for you to be able to know what exactly is right for you again.
Yeah, actually, when we compare public and private universities, we get there is a huge difference in terms of how they handle people. So if, let's say, you're skilled in leadership, I don't think private university will really equip you to that, for you to actualize your full potential. I think in public university, they really do a good job in terms of mentoring leaders, in terms of making them more aggressive, making them more outspoken.
But
I don't know what you think.
I will disagree with you on that. Okay, previously that has been the case in public universities, but since the university, whatever university act was enacted, like the leadership in a private and public university are almost, not similar, but almost similar, considering that right now a school has the ability to actually interfere with who becomes a leader, whether in a private institution or a public institution, with the whole issue of the delegate system. You see, this is not a system that, like the leaders that are there right now, they don't represent what us as the students want. It's more of how well can you corrupt a delegate to vote for a specific leader. And like previously where it was 1 man, 1 vote. So at the end of the day, if we have a student leader, this reflects the choice of the students. But right now I don't think it's that much. So it's easy for an administration
To interfere.
to have leaders when they're less aggressive, because I mean they're on the
So
side
they've
of
been
the
tamed.
administration.
They've been tamed. But at the same time, if you compare the leadership skills that are being impacted on people in public universities, I think they are made more of like, they're given the societal experience, you get the community experience, than when in private, because we get a small community. Okay, if even we consider the number of people in private and the number of people in public universities, you get, it's a huge difference between the number of the population, so to speak. In private universities, we have a smaller number compared to public universities, which also contributes to how someone can influence a group of people. Because if you're used to influencing a small group of people, you're most likely to be kind of intimidated when you go outside there.
Yeah, when you
face the real world. So if you are gifted in leadership, I think for me, public institution would be a right choice for anyone who is like aspiring to be a politician outside there. If we talk issues with talent, what do you think?
Talent.
Other talents apart from politics and leadership?
Okay, when it comes to talent, I don't know. I'm not sure whether I can comment on that really well, but I think it depends with a specific talent. Let's say, for example, in a private institution, there is a specific game probably this institution is known for. Let's say maybe basketball. So the institution might favor that specific game, provide them with all the equipment they need,
and even offer scholarship.
Yeah. And then neglect other talents,
games,
like maybe football, table tennis, or all that. I'm not sure about public universities in terms of games.
I think speculatively speaking, what I hear out there is that in public university, I think there is equal distribution of resources in terms of the games and the talents that are outside there. So you find that people are likely to grow, like more so if you are talented in football and other games, you're likely to grow as an individual when you pick up a public university, because you'll get diverse community that supports all kinds of talent. But when you get to private university, they specialize in a specific area. So if you want a private university and you're talented in a specific area that you know that university is likely not to support, I'd advise you to go for a public university, because that's where you like get all the diverse talents and grow as an individual.
But I think that we can look at that differently. If you think you're talented in a specific game, nowadays information is in the public domain, right? So you can be able to tell which campus or which university does well in which sport. So if you think maybe you're good at basketball, go to an institution that supports that. Football, probably I've seen like maybe multimedia have put themselves at a good position in terms of football. Go there. You look for another sport, it's supported well here, go there. Because at the end of the day, these games are in some institutions, they offer scholarships for these specific games. So you can just do your research, and considering that information is in the public domain, or you can actually consult somebody who has been in that institution.
The other thing I'd like you to consider when you're picking your campus is the level of expertise that you'll get from the lecturers. Because we find that other campuses, the population is too huge for a lecturer to handle. So you'll get that you're being neglected.
Yeah.
So you get that you are not being equipped to an extent that at the end of the 4-year course, you're still not sure of what you're doing. You are totally unprepared to face the society. You go to an office and you're completely out of space. You don't know what is happening there. In as much as other universities also won't like give you the 100% preparation to face the outside world, I guess there are good private universities that are gifted or that are equipped to offer such, like, because they have good lecturers.
Yeah, you have good lecturers. The number is at least reasonable enough in that you can actually interact with a lecturer and get more knowledge from that lecturer. It's just not let's do this, it's just the system, let me pass through the system and go.
And by the way, kuna hizo vitu zenye muna expect msao watu wenye walimaliza form 4. I know you have these wild ideas of venye kampo itakuwa tamu and stuff.
Let me just talking about that. So in high school, you see the way teachers tell you, oh, you're not supposed to date in high school, it's a bad thing. Just wait, go to campus, uko ndo mtapata mabwana.
Shocking.
I have suffered.
How though? How have you suffered?
Nimeona mabwana huko kweli. Mimi sijapata.
Really though?
No, on a serious note. So one of my expectations nikijoin campus, let me just give them in a logical order. One, I expected that venye tunambonga nyisomeni, ukifika campus, you won't even have to struggle. Like, uko tu, bora upate 40%. Guys, let me tell you that 40% doesn't come on a silver platter. You will work for it. And you miss classes maybe like 3 times. You might risk not sitting for an exam.
And that's for private university though. Public ones, watu wanaenda dunda the entire semester. They still get their grades through.
Alafu hiyo ya mabwana, I won't even talk about it because I'm just finishing school and huyo bwana bado sijapata, so that is a story for another day.
I hope boyfriend wako ask you this thing. Anyway, the other thing people usually assume ni hiyo ya at campus ni raha, kuna kusafa. I'm telling you, people are suffering out here. Most of what they've been through a lot in campus, because you find, and most of to wanaume, those who are planning to come to campus and stuff, wanaume, the parent, the first year atakupea do and blah blah blah, things will be rosy and stuff. But now when you continue, like you're in your 3rd year, 2nd year, things zina change and life becomes really hard for you as an individual. So usi expect that your life itakuwa so fun and you know, things will change. For most of the people wenye on a background yao it's not like stable. But for those when you come from well-off families, itakuwa dunda mse, dunda party after party, you know. But kama unateseka mse, kama ndio the hope of the family. Utakuwa unakula KDF. Unga utakuwa unaonea tu viu sasa.
Okay, talking about that, what we expect in terms of money, how parents will be sending us money. To clarify things, let me remind you, hamtapata hizo microwaves na screens na TV zenye mtamboa mtawatch mkiwa campus.
Tobora lala chini kwa floor.
And it is for this reason that I'll bring up this other issue, because you had said we'll talk about it. It is for this reason that unapata there are a lot of abortions for campus students, especially for ladies, yeah? Because you expected a specific type of lifestyle. As he has said, kuna wenye wana come from a humble background na kuna wenye wana come from a rich background. But now a lady wants to put herself in a specific position that probably she cannot afford. So what does she do in the process? She has to look for a way to get money to fund the lifestyle that she wants. Unapata mtu, umepata balls kadhaa, you have to abort now.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, probably, you are not ready, in as much as it's illegal in Kenya and there are only specific circumstances zenye you can abort, but people access abortion medicines over the counter and all that, which actually puts them at risk. But because I want this specific type of lifestyle, I end up looking for a way to fund that lifestyle, whether by nowadays they call it wababa, or just looking for it in any means you can. Unajipata risk kupata pregnancy, looking back you can't tell your parents you are pregnant, you're not even in a financially able position to keep that pregnancy because it comes with a cost, you know. Like it's not something you planned for. So the only thing when I look back at me, abortion. Probably when your friends, pia mabeshte tunakwanga wabaya at the end of the day. If somebody tells you something, utamsengenya. And so it inamfanya akwe unable to take the pain ama to struggle to keep that kid. And end up
kuna a lot of abortions that happen in campuses, because you see people are engaging in sex like random, kuna wenye wako in casual drinking. You know, all you name it, as in kila kitu ina happen in campus, and then they go ahead and have like unprotected sex because basically they are like, ni moment of weakness, and then it happen, the next thing unajua uko na ball, and the boy probably is maybe ni first year ka wewe. When you expect first year kwe daddy. No, anakuruka, so you are left there like alone, trying to figure out what to do next, like figure out what to do next, and in the process unapata kuna option, and then if you do it once, and then you'll be like, oh, kumbe
si serious hivo.
Kumbe si serious hivi.
Tunaweza fanya tu. And then you see, somebody was telling me, I was having a conversation with someone, and we were talking about an abortion. Apparently, alikuwa na, she knows of somebody, her friend, mwenye alikuwa afanya abortion, and there is this specific hospital, and for defamation purposes, I won't mention the name of that hospital, but that hospital majorly in a major kwa female reproductive rights. So the moment wanakujua huko, hizi dawa zinaanza kuwa cheap, the abortion medicine, wanaanza kupea hata cheap and price. So unaona, umeabort mara ya kwanza, mara ya pili, mara ya tatu hadi umeanza kuona kumbe hata si pesa mingi.
Because conscious yako ishakufa, you don't like uoni kani big deal. So mademo wenye wako hapo hivyo, and then you're like una expect kujibamba in campus. So just jibamba, but just be careful, because maze abortion si kitu poa. At the same time siwezi sema naweza judge mtu anafanya, because it's their choice, right? But at the same time the mental trauma and kila kitu yenye msiopitia is not worth it. So if you're planning to have sex, kindly do have a protected sex. Na ujilinde, jipende, you know, jipende before kuja campus. People wenye wakiabort, si wana abort because they don't want the outside society to judge them for their choices and all that. Wengine, I can't say, wengine maybe it's not their choice, they went to a party, they got drunk, maybe it was a trap, somebody has sex with them and they conceived. They didn't plan, but because of the naivety and the type of friends they have, wakajipata in that situation, right? But so what people forget is, like, in your head unajeka, I will abort and I'll be okay, forgetting that kuna diseases when hata ukiabort you don't abort the diseases, you retain the diseases. So at the end of the day, in as much as mnaambiwa mtapata mabua na campus, it doesn't mean you have to go to campus and misbehave. And if you want to have sex or whatever, just protect yourself. Exactly.
Against pregnancy and the diseases. Just si kitu moja peke yake.
And lastly, even as we almost bring this to a conclusion, I'd like to know what you probably would have done differently now that you're graduating. Nini ungefanya differently yenye looking back yenye unaweza advise msee akikuja kampo aifanye differently
In my school life.
Yeah.
Honestly speaking, I've had a boring school life. No, on a serious note though. Like, on a serious note, like my life in campus has always been come to school, read, go home,
Moot.
sleep, read novels, moot, debate. Like you see, I didn't have a social life. Like I didn't
Kwani
get...
sisi tulikuwa nini?
No, wait, I explain. Like for you, yes, I will interact with you guys, but tulikuwa tuna meet frequency gani? Unless I'm in school, I can't look for you guys. I'm like, let's just chill out today.
She wasn't a party girl, so
Or maybe
imagine.
let's go swimming. Like, you know, it was rare.
Dinner.
Yeah, like those things were rare until when you maybe my final year ndo at
ndio
least.
kachangamka.
So, in as much as you want good grades, you can have a social life, you can go out there, experience life, go swimming, have time with your friends, go play, do extracurricular activities. It just doesn't have to be books and books. You can do something fun outside books and it will still not affect your grade. It won't. Because considering that fourth year I've had the most fun, but fourth year nimepita tena the most. You see, so it doesn't affect anything. You just have to plan your time well and have a social life, have a life outside books.
Okay,
Yeah.
mimi looking back, nini ningefanya differently? Kutodifa. Damn. Kudifa semester. Usifanye walai. Hata kama watu wanakufa, uambiwe kuna option ya kudifa, don't defer. Not unless ni
A matter of
life and death. Like ile yenye uko see it's unavoidable. That's okay. But kudifa, that will mess you up because utaenda up ume lose track na wasemuli join now. Then now catching up with them will be totally hard. And then the issue of units kuku available also can affect you. Mosoka uko in a private university when you wanna deal na cohort. So manze, that's the only thing that I advise to, as in the looking back, that's the only thing na regret in my whole campus life. The other thing that sema was interesting ni kuhustle manze. If unakuja campus na wewe ni mwanaume, prepare kuhustle mse, because you need your cash, you need your own money and it will come in handy when you are dealing with issues, because pero pia kuna other challenges because ana handle other issues. So as a dude ama kawe ni dem pia kuwa too aggressive, because at the end of it all we are dealing with a society yenye degrees zenye tunapata, the chances hizo degree ya kukupatia hiyo do are very minimal, like not unless kuna that strong connection, you get me?
Yeah.
So kuwa too aggressive, jaribu kila kitu as long as si illegal, right?
Yeah.
Jaribu kila kitu and then vitu zitajifix.
Do what is legal. Anything that is legal and gives you money. Do it.
Yeah. And if money comes before degree, don't drop out.
Handle both.
So guys, that's it for today's show. I'm glad you liked it, and don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel. Peace out.
Bye guys.